Welcome to Alkalize to Realize talk show. I am having the fortune of being joined by a very beautiful friend, very special guest, Cathy Reed. How did you say it again? Ned,
Her bare naked soul.
her naked soul. Yes, thank you. So we are, and I am the host, Niels, and we are here to talk about dancing, how it has helped Cathy to go through and move through her emotions and energy blockages within to really allow everything to come forth so she can express herself and show the world to really go deep within her body. So I'm very happy to have you here with me. Thank you for coming.
Thank you.
So Kathy, how in terms of dancing, I can see on your Facebook you have been dancing for quite a while, about 170 days, like on end, and you have been a dancer for quite a while, like many years. So, what brought you into the position that you find yourself in terms of starting this kind of project of dancing?
Um, it was all quite unplanned. I had been a dancer as a career, but I had ended my career in 1999.
Yeah.
And so for almost 20 years, I didn't have any movement in my life.
Oh,
And
that's a lot.
it's a long, long time. And I was an exotic dancer. So I had a lot of conditioning that, well, you can't do that. That's not okay. Just go be a housewife. And that's what I did. And as I think in my own mind, I was trying to redeem myself, right? Oh, I'm a housewife now. I'm okay. But this last year, I returned to dancing spontaneously, and it wasn't exotic at all. It wasn't sexual at all. It was after 20 years. It was actually quite awkward because I was coming out of the dark, or a lot of repression. But one day I was in my apartment in Indonesia, and I just felt like I had been feeling like dancing for a while, and it just kind of popped out. And I was dancing around my living room looking quite silly, but really feeling good. And I suddenly decided to put it on Facebook. And that was day one.
Okay, that's very interesting. So you were mentioning about this darkness and also feeling inspired to do dancing. So in terms of darkness, what did you walk through? When did you go through there?
You mean the 20 years that I wasn't dancing?
Yeah, I mean you spoke about you felt like dancing, and then you felt this kind of darkness inside you, and you wanted to bring something out.
Yeah. So the block, like I had always had the urge to dance.
Yeah.
And when I stopped holding that urge down and let it come out a little bit at a time, every day, a little more, I was processing out, releasing past conditioning of how women are supposed to move their bodies. And over the 100, I think I'm on day 169 today. And over these 169 dances, every dance I would get more movement as I released the blockages of ideas, emotional pain, and ideas that really didn't serve my well-being.
Okay. So, as in terms of releasing all these energy blockages, emotions, I can totally relate to you. I have my own experience in a, you could say, more a different way, like being outside in the forest, out in nature, listening to rave and psytrance, while I'm also being on something called LSD, which I've heard might be from the tree of life. I'm not sure, but that was like really huge for me to really like dive deep within myself, like closing my eyes, just going within, not caring about what other people would, think about me, because that's really where also shyness and, it's also a blockage when we care about what other people think about us. But
Yeah.
in terms of your experience, like how do you manage that to get these blockages going, or liberate yourself?
Um, you know, I never thought I would come to say this because I've always been so creative brain and sort of in flow, but it's discipline. So as I moved through these dances, like to go through the healing process, I notice now looking back that the most important thing was to make that commitment to myself.
Yeah.
And to make that commitment to myself and to have the discipline, which on certain days I really didn't feel like dancing, like if I was overwhelmed or sometimes those emotions were too, seem like they're too big. Um, but the commitment to just do at least one song. And sometimes I'd have to break it down mentally and say, look, that's only 3 minutes. Can you do 3 minutes? And I'd be like, yeah, okay, I can move around for 3 minutes. That was the beginning of setting a foundation of healing.
Okay, yeah,
Commitment.
definitely. Yeah,
Yeah.
commitment. That's the key here. Also, that
Yeah.
was my experience because I've only had a few of those. With dancing, I don't really dance a lot, but I was also in the kind of like the same mindset of like, okay, Nils, how far are you willing to go? How far are you willing to go? Like all the way. So I went very deep with it, with my experience in terms of that. But okay, so, so talking about dancing, and it has been helping you releasing and doing a lot of good things for you. In terms of like, let's say, diet, have you noticed any significant changes in terms of your diet?
Um, Definitely there. I mean, before I went to Indonesia, I what didn't have a conscious diet whatsoever. I
Yeah.
would pretty much eat whatever I could pick up quickly. And I had no consciousness whatsoever about what I put in my body. It was more in desperation. So when I went to Indonesia, because the food where I was living, a lot of it is vegan, and the restaurants are they're just really the best food. I accidentally became a vegan because that's where everyone was eating, and I was peer pressured into it. So, but after a while, I just felt better. I felt, um, man, I had some huge changes because of that diet. And when you feel better, you can live better. So so that was a big path for me to be able to dance. This clearing of my physical body. So the diet had a lot to do with it. Now I'm back in America, and oh my gosh, it is not easy to maintain a healthy diet. And it's a much more of then I have to go back again to the commitment. Gotta, you just do the best that you can.
Yeah, definitely. That's also my experience as well. Like having been on, you could say almost kind of like 95% on liquid diet, pretty much coconut water, fruits, and stuff like that. And yeah, it's definitely, do you live in the city or do you live like more outside the city?
I live in a town, and it's about 300,000 people.
Okay, yeah, that's quite big.
Yeah.
Yeah, in terms of that, yeah, that can definitely be a challenge. Like, all these kind of like you could call cravings or temptations. Um, yeah. So any kind of protocols or something, what do you do to like keep you, motivated and strong?
Okay, so the first thing again is commitment. So regardless of the diet I'm eating is I am really making a effort to be on that dance floor no matter what I had for lunch. But
Oh
since I
yeah,
came back to America, my diet really went sideways. And I'm
yeah,
trying to balance out again, finding the places to buy food, finding the right restaurants I can order out from. But that's just been kind of like a reset. Is first of all, no matter how I feel, be on the dance floor. And the food, though, boy, it's been a huge transition. So at first, when I got back to America, I was so excited. I was like, "Oh yeah, candy! It's everywhere. Soda. It's been a year, and so I went a
yeah.
little overboard, and I did feel the effects big time on every level.
Yeah.
So it kind of shut me down, and I'm back, and I am definitely realigning with what's best for me now. Yeah.
Yeah, I also think it's very good that we have these experiences. Like we're just throwing in whatever goes in, then we are transitioning into the vegan diet, and we just feel like amazing. And then we kind of like go back and forth, and then we're kind of like able to see like okay how it actually affects our body. Like even when I go for let's say processed sugar, cooked processed food, and in terms of the amount, I can just feel like insane like change within me. Like I have less energy, and I even feel like I lose like my creativity and
Oh
motivation
yeah.
as well. That's really big.
I also have some secret protocols.
Yeah, I think we
Um,
all have.
yeah. Like, I'll do some, I think oil, I'll use a lot of different organic oils like olive oil or sesame oil, and I'll ingest it. Also enema, also all over the skin. So
Oh,
that's super, for me, it's really important because it's very dry where I live,
yeah.
and it seems comforting and balancing. So
Okay. Have you heard about the urine therapy?
I have read about it a little bit. I still have a lot of block there. So
Yeah.
as far as like, it
Yeah,
sounds
that's
interesting
the
though. Like I'm not totally out. I'm just saying I'm still curious. I
yeah,
haven't done it.
it's yeah, exactly. It can be quite challenging, and it even is for me, like until this day. But as I'm easing more into my like keeping my energy and my frequency and vibration high, I just feel like by looping or drinking and even massaging, it just makes the energy like grow and thrive like nothing else. But yeah, it's definitely very
Really?
interesting. Yeah, it keeps my
Okay,
energy
well,
high. And also when I know it's a little bit sidetracked to like we were talking about dancing, but okay, it's even when you age it, It's and you just let it sit in a glass, and you just let it breathe. You can put some cloth on top of the glass or the jar, and it will pull in oxygen. And there are also stem cells in it, so they will multiply, and they can go in and really heal and regenerate all the cells that are either damaged or dead. So it's really rejuvenating, and it's very powerful, and it
I'm
will
on
make your
board.
and it will make your skin glow. And of course, it works the best, on the raw vegan diet, because if we eat salt and cooked and processed foods, then we are like, it's not gonna be good.
Yeah,
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 definitely.
definitely.
All right. So going back to the dancing. So you've been dancing for, following the program and putting it up on Facebook. Has there also been like, some challenges, about how you feel like the world perceives you, or do you just go within and express the child within?
That's an amazing question, and I love it. Um, yeah, I did move through a lot of shame blocks.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
So, and they were really heavy early on. So I might early on they were just so overwhelming. So I might post a
Wow.
dance that I really liked, but then have this enormous emotional uh, wave of thoughts and feelings of old conditioning saying, oh, that's stupid, you're not good enough, how dare you do that, people will hate
Yeah.
you.
Yes.
These really toxic belief systems and thoughts and feelings. And strangely, I knew, I think, my higher self was really guiding me. And I would always ask myself, and I do this to this day, when I do post my dance, I look at it carefully and kind of shut out the world. And I said, do I like it? Do I
Exactly.
love it? And
Exactly.
when I did feel a strong yes, then that's a go. And then that means you just work through the feelings that you're feeling. They will be like a wave, they're going to go in and out. And using this process to guide my work, wow, it dropped me to deeper and deeper levels of expression. And I'm in a whole new stage of development now, or unveiling um, with sexuality. So at
Okay.
first it was just like, how dare you dance anything at all, right?
Yeah.
How dare you even just like, bop around and look like you're 12. But yeah, riding those waves of self-hatred, of shame, and literally letting myself feel the suppressed feelings that at a certain time we're all told, right, when we're little, don't do that, don't move like that, shut
Yes.
up, be
Yes.
quiet, just be still. The box is being formed around our personality. So
Yes.
the deeper we go into that, though, to remove those walls of shame, of self-hatred, self-condemnation, judgment, boy, we get bigger and bigger and bigger, our expression. And because now my expression is I have to go through the new level of waves of fear, because
Yes.
now I'm in sexual expression, which is a natural, I didn't know this, but it's a natural byproduct of clearing emotional baggage. So once you've cleared enough emotional baggage, guess what, people? You will encounter your sexual self. Nobody told me this. I'm only
Okay.
learning now, and I'm like, oh God, if someone told me this before, I wouldn't be like, I quit,
I am
because it's
a li
scary.
Yeah, I am a bit curious about that, the sexuality thing, because I have been, liberating myself as well, quite fast with the LSD, dancing to rave and psytrance. And I mean, I'm not in a rush or anything to like, is it kind of like in a relationship or intimate thing, or is it something else, or just the
Something
expression of
else.
self, something else?
It's amazingly pure. So it has nothing to do with a relationship, although there's byproducts there. it really, this is so beautiful. So what I discovered is it took me back, all the unveiling, it took me back to a very young age. And it
Okay.
reminded me of the truth that human beings are born sexual.
Yes.
So that means a 5-year-old has a sexual facet to their person. And it brought me back to that innocent, that place of innocence. And sexuality became uh, a more truthful expression, which is you're fully in your body, the feeling
Yes.
of aliveness. So the connotation, especially in America, around the word sexuality, people have a very definitive idea about what
Yeah.
that means. That means, oh, are you straight? Are you gay? Are you trans? Are you bi? Throw all that out.
Yeah.
Sexuality is being firmly rooted in your humanity, every single aspect, and expressing it in a way, however that is true to you. And that's what sexuality actually means to me, and
Yeah.
how I'd like to share it. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. Being complete honest with yourself, being in your true own nature, and just allow to let the light, the energy to show up in however way it wants to do that. That's really powerful. And that's really what I think we all could and should like tune into. And I can totally reaffirm, like, you mentioned like all these self-doubt beliefs and, oh, is this good enough? Is this good enough? Like, this is my fifth interview today, and I go through the exact same process right now, despite whatever else I've been through in my life. But yeah, we just gotta be able to just flow with it, to just go with it, and just be in the present moment. And also, what I think is the greatest block is about what other people think about us. And that's what I decided to do because I've always been shy my whole life. But in the forest, I just closed my eyes and I just didn't bother. I just went in, and it was like heaven. Yeah.
Yeah. Definitely. Yeah. Another thing about the dancing, the sexuality, the sexual expression in my dancing. Um, I think some strange things kind of made themselves clear to me, kind of popped up. And it was
Oh.
the more sexual my dancing is, outsiders or people don't understand maybe might think, oh wow, she's really wild. She must have a lot of sex. She must be a swinger. Actually, what happened was the opposite as I became so
Oh.
rooted and confident in my own sexual expression that I have never been more monogamous in my life. And it was the first time that that felt right for me. And I was able to really just feel unapologetic about it
Yeah.
and know that's part of me. Like that's where I'm at right now in my life. So it's strange, a lot of my own ideas about sexuality got completely turned on its head,
Yes.
completely. And yeah, so it's like, surprise, I'm monogamous and I still have extremely sexualized dances. That's okay. So
Absolutely. As
yeah.
you say, it's where you are with your life right now, and they're just showing like where they are, that they're not in that place of like allowing themselves to come forward, to show forth as they are, without any limiting beliefs. Absolutely.
Yeah. And also it's like I don't put monogamy above any other expression. So
Okay.
if my nature was to have any other type of expression, which there's so many,
Yes.
um, I no longer view other people's sexual expression as black and white, right or wrong. It is what it is. And all I want is to encourage people to be true to themselves.
Yeah. That's really what is gonna create like peace, love, and harmony on the whole planet, by loving and accepting, first of all, ourselves, and then, reflect that to the outside world. And
Yeah,
then
definitely.
it's just gonna like grow. It's just gonna grow like flowers everywhere. So it's very powerful, and I'm very happy that you're doing this. It's incredible. It's like the hero's journey.
Oh my God, it really, really is.
Yes.
It's amazing. I'm definitely in a process of unfolding right now.
Yeah. And I'm very honored and grateful to hear all this, because like we can even, we don't have to go to like taking a substance that's gonna be like, going deep within. We can also do it by ourselves through our diet, through our body movements, and through the breath as well.
Oh
Like
yeah.
there's a lot of tools to that. Do you have any other insights in terms of that? Like, other tools you're using, or,
Yeah.
secret protocols?
Um, okay, so I had a lot to unwind. So what I was unwinding was being raised as a fundamental Christian. And so that's a lot of packaging to set down.
Yes.
And what I found out was just your normal behavioral what psychology didn't help. But what did help was plant medicine,
Yeah.
breath work it's still I shy away from breath work because it's that powerful.
Yes.
It's
I
scary.
feel that. I feel that.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
So I want to say breath work really cracked open a box though. And I did these things before I started dancing, not knowing um, what would happen. I didn't know, but I remember my one practitioner, a dear friend of mine, I was doing breath work, and I was doing breath work. I had an emotional release that was just epic, epic. And it was in a pool under the water so that I could really
Whoa.
flail and express and yell. And it went on and on and on. And she said at the end of it, she said, Kathy, I think you lifted the lid of on your emotional expression. You just lifted it. So get ready for the ride.
Wow. So you were
And I
doing
had
a,
no idea what would happen 6 months later. I'd be living in another country,
yeah.
completely changed my life, diet, spirituality, and I was stepping into my true self, is what was happening.
Yeah, once we get started, it's just gonna shoot like a boomerang, and you're just gonna fly high. Like I even did a breatharian workshop with a lot of fruit juicing, fasting, dry fasting, coming back, being on liquid diet, and then it's just gonna be like, and 2, 3 months later, I had my own apartment. Like what the heck? Just feeling like, yep, I'm ready. Let's go. Let's just go. Nothing can stop me.
Right, right.
Yeah.
Yeah, the plant medicine. Well, okay, it wasn't plant medicine. I did also, and I did this in Bali throughout the year. I did it maybe 5 times. Um, I did Cambo.
Oh, yeah, I've tried that as well. That's really crazy. Did you go for the triple ceremony?
What's that? I'm not
It's basically, you can get one session. You get the stakes of the Cambo, the frog poison, right?
right.
Yes. So you have one round, and then you go through the purging, and then you have another round. You go through the purging, and you get another round. So like 3 rounds,
In a
or
row.
was it? Yeah, in one day.
Yeah, no. My combo experiences, a few were so explosive. I relate them to giving birth. So I was
Whoa.
giving birth to myself, but I had some darkness deep down, packed so tight that my first experience with Cambo, this was strange. I felt nothing. And the practitioner, the Shah woman, said she'd never seen that before in 20
Wow.
years. So, and I was proud of myself. I'm like, look at how strong I am. I'm a warrior. She's like, well, actually it means it might be really stuffed down there,
Yeah.
your
Wow.
emotions.
Yes.
So for the second ceremony, she was excited and she saw me. She's like, oh, great, we're going to double the dose. And I was like, great, thinking it'd be the same, you know?
Wow.
It wasn't. I was face flat on the floor. And I was starting to process the pain that I had been holding down for 45 years. And I might have also started the processing of familial pain from the previous generations. And this is a whole interview in itself because
Yeah.
a lot of magical things happened. But basically, it was the Kambo helped me to sit with the pain and not run away with drugs, alcohol, using other people to distract me, television. Just stay there because you have no choice once you're in that space. You know, you're there. And those were big catalysts to get me to where I am today. And I did it 5 different times on different days
Wow.
as I could handle it. So I might the first time I did 3 sessions in 1 month. And then I spread out the last 2 like 1 month and then another month. And here I am today. Like I live in my own dance studio. I mean, it's incredible.
Holy cow. How
Yeah,
did
like look at
you
this dance floor.
how did you manifest that?
Right? It's like
Yeah.
obviously my whole life is about dance. Clearly, this is what I'm supposed to do with my life.
Yes.
But
Yeah.
I have to move
Shining.
around a little bit really quick to get a technical charger real quick.
Of course. Yeah, we
Yeah.
can't have you run out already.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
but in the meantime, I'm gonna give you a little tour. So I
Yeah.
just moved in. It's huge. And I have this own stage dance floor area.
That's
And
amazing.
it really is. I haven't furnished it yet. Everything's coming, but basically, I'm living now in this beautiful space that will basically facilitate my dreams.
Yes. And
So I'll do,
you're probably going to hold a lot of classes and teaching other people to just,
yeah, definitely, to do embodiment work. You know, so right now in this
yes.
community, I'm meeting up with and connecting with other practitioners, dance teachers, shaman, shaw woman, coming out of the woodworks, creatives, photographers, and other people who are into somatic work and other types of healing.
Yeah.
And yeah, I'm definitely going to open the space to um, have that here.
I can also definitely see like you probably might as well hold some Kambo ceremonies with these shamans and all this, body work, breath work. Yeah.
Oh, definitely, definitely.
Breath exercises. That's just crazy. I have a guy from Nepal, and he has been teaching me like to do breath exercise for the past like 1 or 2 months. And for instance, like I do it in the morning, but also like the 3 or 4 last nights before I went to bed, I would do breath work. Like usually, I never like remember dreaming or the dreams that I've had, but now I do when I'm just loaded with oxygen, life force, energy that it can, that the body can work and function, the way we are designed or supposed to be.
Yeah, so I'm into this new unfolding stage I mentioned, and I
Yeah.
probably will choose to bring in so resistant breath work. And I'm going to have to look at it the same way I do dancing when I'm resistant. It's okay.
Yes.
Can I do 3 minutes? No. Can I do 1 minute at least? Try to make that commitment to myself that I'm going to do certain amount of time every day until I can build up through, because it brings up fear in me.
Okay.
That's yeah, that I'm very resistant to doing breath work more than anything else in this world.
Do you know where it comes from? What is it you're afraid of?
I often feel that I had a drowning experience once, and it
Oh,
does bring me back to feeling that I'm dying, and the panic is visceral.
yeah,
So, but that's the fear that I plan to let out of my body to release that fear so I can live the life I'm meant to, and
yes,
instead of living around it.
exactly. Being able to observe the sensations rather than reacting to them, to be even to be grateful and just, give it some love and send your body some love. Like even for me on the LSD, I was just in a state of like just loving and accepting everything, like my body, the world, the people around me, my circumstances that I were in, and even if I had cancer, like when I stated that, my body started to release like insane, like a lot of air, and that was crazy. Like that's because that's kind of like also how our bodies get into eliminate or get stuff out, old energies. But also I went onto the couch in the cozy room, just listening to nice slow music, and I had in my mind like I was because I was really thinking about what is the purpose of life, like because it goes over and over again. We are entering a new body, and so why am I here? What am I doing here? And I even had the experience in my mind that I was decomposing into Mother Earth. Like I just let go of it, and I was like, yeah, just let it be. Just let it be. Just accept it, love it, be grateful. And that was like the most beautiful experience I ever had. And I'm still even here, still to this day, like despite kind of like going through death. But yeah, it was kind of like a rebirth. So
Yeah.
one more thing. And so what I experience when I do the breath work, I also have resistance to it. But I just feel like by going in and just be grateful for every breath.
I love that. I might use that to try to get through the first and immediate stages,
Yes.
you know, try to be grateful for each breath. Yeah, I'm definitely having, that's my next stage that I'm out of unfolding. I have a little secret vice, and I've had it on and off my whole life. So I can't even believe this because and it's like an antithesis of who I am. I'll go have a
Yes.
cigarette. And the cigarette to me holds the fear that I don't want to deal with. So
Yes.
cigarettes are about breathing, and it's about a desperation of, you know, of it's about a desperation to get that. You think it's air. It's not air, but it's that sucking motion. And so where breath work is fearful, then they have the cigarette on the other side and they're at war. So I'm ready at this point to, move through the emotions. But now I know I don't approach the cigarette vice without having um, dealing with the emotions that are underlying it.
Yes.
And there's a lot of fear and desperation that surround that habit. And
Yeah.
so I have a feeling that breath work is the key because it's all
Yes.
about breathing, freely.
Yeah. Yeah. Definitely. That's life. Without it, we die. Like we cannot sustain ourselves.
Right. So, yeah.
Wow. You're shining so much. Whoa. Your head is glowing.
Yeah. So, yeah. I was also thinking, we grow up, we're born, we grow up. And for this early part of our lives, we're learning not to feel. Boys are told don't cry. Girls are
Yes.
told to calm down. Don't,
Yes.
get so crazy. Um, that's our first early life. You know, we get in the box of social acceptability. And now I'm
Yes.
seeing the awakening part of life is actually learning to feel. Who knew? Like, it's an unlearning of all of these things we've been taught that help
Yes.
us survive early on. You know, I'm not going to knock them. We kind of maybe need that box at an early age somehow. You know, it keeps us from running in the street. It keeps us we can so be socialized, you know?
Yes.
But it is our own personal journey as human beings to relearn feeling and to embrace whatever that means.
Yes. Exactly. And also to live as if we are like willing to like let go of everyone. Like not that we're going to let go of everybody, but we just gotta have this kind of mindset, I believe, because when we are going inside the mind and we just care too much about what other people think, then we're stopping ourselves becoming or being or doing how we feel on the inside. And to do it, you know, without expectation. And when we don't have any expectation, it's not gonna make you up. You're just gonna be like in the present moment. You're just there, and it's also like, you know, life is like a movie, and we are looking through a screen, like our eyes, and we are looking and perceiving the world, and it all comes down to what we make out of it inside.
Oh, so true. So, so true. It is so hard to remember that when I don't like how the movie's going.
Yeah.
That it's actually, wait a minute, you wrote the script, you're playing all the roles,
Yes.
you know what I mean? Like it's my projection, it's my own
Oh
making.
yeah. The
Um,
personality.
yeah.
Yeah.
So it's just like lately, the last few days when I've resistance to dancing, especially yesterday, I don't want to hear that. I want to hear that it's this situation outside of myself that's making me resistant. I want an excuse not to dance. But
Yes.
really, I know I'm creating my reality.
Yes.
So just show up for 3 minutes, you know, and
Yes.
let it be okay. And so I rarely have those off days dancing, but I did yesterday. And so my post was what it was. I gave myself permission to be where I was, you know, to be real. And it was low energy. It was like even the movements were resistant. It looks like I'm swimming through mud. Uh, I didn't really think it was attractive, but there again, I came back to don't judge myself. Uh, don't try to change what it is. Just show up.
Exactly.
Just
Just
show up.
show up. Yes.
Yeah. So, oh, I did.
Yeah, definitely. And even I had a few weeks ago, I was interviewing one of my friends, and I've been through a rough ride of like working a lot, interviewing people, and you know, doing all kinds of things, never relaxing, and then and also going into all this judgment, and like just let it be, just accept it for what it is, and just allow it to be there, and just like, you know, you can be in this observation mode that you can just observe yourself rather than reacting to it. Um, I had also a key point of like, even when we are down, like we have all these ups and downs, when we're going to the downside, we can just be. And we don't have to go all into all this negative mind chain, monkey chain of like, oh, this and that, and this and that. No, everything is perfect. And you're exactly where you're supposed to be. To learn to deal with that kind of situations rather than digging even further.
Yeah, yesterday. So that resistance I was talking about, I know in the past I would have taken that resistance and made a story about it and then call up everybody I know and really like vomit toxicity in my liver, right?
Yeah.
Right? So that means you want to project this feeling on other people and talk badly about stuff, whatever, you know, really make it a big deal, make a
Yes.
drama about it.
Yes.
And since I didn't do that, since now I'm like, I know when I hear myself starting to be negative projection on someone else, I need to step away. So what I did was I cleared my house out, and I told all my friends I need privacy today. And I went into the feeling instead of
Oh,
outside. And I
yes.
did a lot of releasing emotional, like it was looked like a temper tantrum. I did a lot of screaming in a pillow, and it was such wild energy. Um, I actually had to let myself flail on a bed and beat it up. So I was having a like, it kind of did remind me of a 5-year-old having a tantrum, but it was just me moving out this old frustration, old
Yes.
beliefs, and feeling it, feeling what I was resisting, and not having judgment about it. And I believe it was able to show up to this interview because of it, because I'd already released that, you know,
Oh, wow. Yeah.
had a lot of resistance and fear of every time I expand my ideas and I talk to somebody else, I feel that resistance still. At least we have tools, and they're free. It's like,
Yeah.
got a pillow, scream in it.
Yes. Just letting it out, all the energies. And it's very good also you're pointing out, like just letting your friends know about I just need some privacy right now because I even go through that as well. And I just don't know how to project that because I also feel like um I want to stay like really high vibe, good energy always, not being down. And so I just feel like out of myself when I'm in these lows. And if people want to talk with me and stuff, and like, but hey, it's all about what we make out of it. And even the thing about the fear of stepping in through like our true potential. I'm have been on this liquid diet for a long time now, since June, and I just feel like the longer I go, consistently on the liquid diet, and maybe even eating a small fruit here and there, the energy just goes really high. And so I guess I kind of have some emotional thing or some fear about really stepping up to being out, like how high can I go, like energetically, vibrationally. So I've also been kind of like diving into, oh, I would love to just snag on some chips or something like that, some cooked processed thing that can like kind of like ground me or calm me down. But like, yeah, it's truly a practice, like, yeah.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, it all boils down to, for me, is just that showing up and
Yes.
doing that work, to be there for yourself, and to give you the
Yes.
self acceptance to wherever you're at, to yourself. And normally I'll have so many people in and out of my house, and it feels almost like a party all the time. But
Wow.
I realized, as soon as I said I need privacy, what I had been doing was distracting myself with other people.
Yes.
And what's funny is I asked to be alone, but then as soon as I was alone, I remember thinking, having thoughts like, wow, nobody likes me. I
Yes.
was like,
Same for
that
me.
makes no sense.
No.
Um, but I needed to let those thoughts come and not try to chase them away, and to go feel the feelings that were attached to the thought. And they're being able to do this, like, I'm not done yet. I'm going into more of this today, of feeling these old rejection story feelings, or alone,
Yes.
abandonment stuff, really feeling it and releasing it so I can move into the next stage of dancing, or whatever creation
Yeah.
I do.
Yeah.
So
Definitely. Even
I'm
like
not
when.
super looking forward to it, but I know it's like drinking water. This is what we do. It's the path. Like, Native Americans call it the red road. I'm on it. I'm on the road. So it's another step.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Definitely. Even when we are like around other people and we can go into all these kind of like limiting beliefs about ourselves. Oh, I'm not good enough, or I'm not saying the right things, I'm not showing the right energy, or whatever we dive into. And we can, if we could just adopt the mindset of a happy little child, like a newborn child, like just being grateful to like just be, and not have, again as well, not having any expectation of how things are turning out. Like no matter how it turns out, it's just, it's beautiful.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yes. Oh, yeah, this is just amazing growth right now in personally and in the world that I've seen, you know.
Yes, definitely. We are. I can imagine you're seeing the same thing, like going through the hero's journey, and you're just showing up, and that just allows other people to show up.
It does. There's exciting. I get so many amazing messages from other people who start showing up for themselves, and it's that's encouraging, you know.
Yeah.
Just keep do. I say, hey, just do you, boo.
Exactly. Just be you. Step into yourself.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you're on day 169. Like, are you doing classes already, or what kind of do you like do retreats, or how are you
Yeah, that's a
facilitating that to
strange
other
thing.
people?
I'm exploring my classes right now. So I did offer classes, and then I moved in here. So I had a little month break for the transition.
Yeah.
So I will be offering these classes to women on Fridays, sensual
Okay.
embodiment. Um, but you know, I'm feeling into it for myself.
Yes.
Uh, it's not a career path.
No.
It's definitely something because I want to connect with others in a who are like-minded. Um,
Yes.
and that I have resistance all over the place right now. So part of my brain saying, you don't want to talk to strangers. But then the other part is there are no strangers. You know, the right
Exactly.
people come who are attracted to do the work.
Yes.
Um, so just keep moving forward, you know.
Yes.
Uh, and it's about safety. When you do sensual embodiment and sexualized dancing, um, the issues of safety, not outwardly, internally. Are you safe to move that way? Well, I have to process them first before I can really act as a friend and guide to other women who will encounter the same fear. So
Okay.
I'm in the fear today.
Yeah, definitely. I can totally relate with that. Like I have been doing so much work on myself, mentally, physically, emotionally, and now I'm helping, coaching, consulting. One being in India, overcoming all her health issues, and so that's really a powerful thing we can do there to show up and allow the people to come in and just teach, and then we can just continue on that path. And even when you're talking about, oh, I don't like about the thing about talking to strangers, but of course there are no strangers in this world. But that's the same feeling that I had like before going into this interview. Like, how is it going to turn out? I have no idea. I don't know. I like we haven't met in person. I just got to know you a few days ago, and well, seems like flourishing, flowering. It's beautiful.
Yeah.
But my secret is just to be in the present moment and just flow like a river running down a stream,
Yeah. Yeah.
overcoming the obstacles.
I'm actually very shy too. So
Oh,
I was when I was a dancer as a career for a decade, I only danced on a stage. I never came down into the audience. Um, and that was some people would say, oh, in exotic dance, that they would say, oh, what? That's so moral. They give it these attributes. No, I was just
yes.
shy, and I had a terrible stutter. I was that shy, and so I
Wow.
couldn't engage with other people unless I felt safe inside of a box. Um, so today, the remnants of that shyness
Yeah.
are definitely, I'm still moving through the remnants of shyness. It's still actually, I feel resistance to even go to the store.
Okay.
Yeah. Um, I'm very good on stage and on my videos because that is a container that nobody can come through that glass, right? Nobody can come past the velvet rope on the stage. It's not possible. So I'm free to express. So when we talk about me having classes here, that's where the resistance come in, that now we're intimate. This
Yes.
is wow. I'm moving into a more authentic and intimate connection with other human beings. I can't tell you how much fear and resistance is there. But like we talked about the tools of the breath work, of
Yes.
food, of
Yes.
we never talked about fasting. That is a big part of it too. It's possible to help move these blocks out. But
Definitely.
that's why, yeah. So yeah, I will be teaching the classes.
Yes,
I've
you
been
will.
asked for them. Like I have women wanting to sign up now, and then I'll be like, oh, okay, it's next week. No, I mean next week.
All right. How about challenging yourself next time you get the opportunity? You just go into it and you just flow.
Yes, thank you. You're right. Because the mental chatter was extreme. Like a lot of women want the pole class, and then I would go into the mental chatter. Wait a minute,
Yeah.
you're not an expert at that. Well, you don't have to be. Sensual
No.
expression. I'm not teaching how to become a stage show dancer in Las Vegas. It's about healing your body. It's
Yeah.
about freeing your authentic expression. So
Yes.
we can all look like silly monkeys together.
Exactly.
Because
Maybe,
that's how my
maybe.
pole classes will be taught.
That's all. That's also an idea you could use. Like you could have these costume songs being like monkeys or whatever, like to kind of like spice it up and just go crazy.
Right, right. Yeah, there's not going to be a real hard, uh, what do you call it, syllabus. No.
Yeah, yeah. And it's I'm very. I know I said it before. Like I'm so. It's so amazing to just get the reconfirmation. Like dancing is really what is gonna like liberate us and set us free. Like I was doing 10 hours on LSD to Raven Psytrance, just releasing, I don't know, this box that you're talking about, that I was so shy before as well. And after that session, like it was gone because I've been dancing for 10 hours on end, just going on the inside. That was really crazy.
I might try a long haul today with the dancing. I remember that did also help me get to move through blocks. Like if I commit to 1 hour and I just push the playlist and
Yeah.
don't get in, like sometimes I'll distract myself by saying, oh, I don't like that song. I need to find another one. Oops, don't like that one. And then, on and on and on. Then you're losing time. So just push
Yes.
play and then stay on that dance floor, stay in motion. It doesn't even, no matter what that motion looks like.
Okay.
It may be that time in my life to
Yes.
revisit these skills and
Yes.
these modalities of healing. Is that you got to go back down to the foundation of commitment. Just show up and keep moving the body.
Yes.
Just go. That might
Yes.
be interesting. I might be doing that today. So yeah,
Yeah, and just allowing it to be there and just accept it and be grateful for it and just go
yeah,
on. Don't hold back.
yeah.
Don't go into the negative chatting. Like, it's okay. I know you're there. Where did you come from?
Yes.
Yes. And I also, I work with Lee from Alkalize to Realize, and he's also talking about, oh, Niels, you should do your own health retreats, like, and I'm like, whoa, I feel kind of like that's a big thing because I've never done it before. Just like before I went into doing the interviews, and so now when I do the interviews, I just go in the present moment and I go with the flow. I don't plan on anything. That's how I feel like the best comes out. So I guess I might just start my first retreat like that. Who knows? With what I know and what I can
Yes,
share and teach, and
exactly.
also based upon what it is people what they're looking for. Like, what is it they want, rather than going into like planning everything and what you're gonna say. Like, you can just be in the present moment and you can just give from where they are, right here.
Right. Meet them where they're at.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, I love
Exactly.
that.
Yeah.
That thought just even brings me a lot of ease right now. Just, oh yeah, I can do that. Now
Yes.
the dancing for an hour is easy.
Yes.
Thinking of it that way, just um don't pre-plan it. Don't get all into what it might have to look like or what could happen. Just push
And
play and look for the adventure
yes,
in it. Thank you.
you're well welcome.
Yeah,
It's powerful.
it is. It's a slight shift, just that slight shift makes things possible.
Yes.
Yeah. And then
Yeah.
even a little more on the dial, a little more shift then makes it fun. And the
Yeah.
normal a little bit more makes it powerful,
Yeah.
you know?
I
But it's just, yeah, that was super helpful actually.
very grateful, very happy for that. Just, and I'll also tell yourself, like, whenever you run into these kind of like negative thoughts, like, just think back on this moment and bring back this energy you're feeling right now.
Thank you. Yeah. I think today might be off the hook, actually.
Off the hook. Oh yes, and you're not
So
shy.
I went from talking about this resistance and how
Yes.
to deal with it and what I'm going to do, the work,
Yeah.
to, hey, it might be off the hook. So it's just, it's that riding the wave and of the path and the feelings, the vibration between us actually is like really lifting, helping me move
Yeah.
to where I want to be too.
A-
So
And it helps me too. Like, you're the first stranger that I'm talking to, like on an interview.
awesome. And it's going good.
It's going good.
Yeah.
It's amazing. Wow. Hmm, interesting. That's awesome. Whoa. I think we've been, I don't know, speaking for 1.5 hours. I feel like
Wow, really?
already? What? Usually my interviews, they're like 1 hour or something. I'm like, maybe I should end it now, but I'm like, hey, this is going good. Let's continue.
That's cool. I love it.
Awesome. Yeah. So is there, I think, yeah, I don't know if you have something on your heart that you would like to share from the bottom of your heart.
Yeah. Um, I'm seeing a picture. So sometimes when I have something on my heart, it shows up as a picture. There's no words or anything. So
Yes.
I did a dance. I did a few dances in the last 2 days that were different and they moved. I didn't know what they were. I didn't have labels for them. And they made me they were almost baffling. Like I didn't even have one emotion. I just didn't know what this was. I was looking at. It was
Okay.
alien. And so I'm thinking about these dances, and I now know in this conversation what I had done was break through a barrier and boundary of sexuality and sexual expression that is a genre I've never seen before. So what I mean is it was healthy, it was beautiful, but there were no categories from my past to box it. So I didn't know what it was. It's still unfolding as how
Yeah.
it should be presented. the container that's honorable for it. All these questions are coming up. But as
Yes.
far as, this new beautiful animal that's been born, um, I'm like looking at like, whoa, what is it? It's very beautiful, but does it bite? Like, well, I don't know. I'll be talking about that on my Facebook page and sharing clips, clips that are in compliance with censorship for Facebook rules. Um,
Oh,
and talking about the journey that's opened up to me. So that's
okay.
kind of been on my mind today, and um, it's a mystery.
It is a mystery, and
Yeah.
we can also liberate ourselves from whatever you want to call it. We want to call it censorship. We can go to settings, and then there is a section called blocking, and there you can type in Facebook security, and that will give you a list of all the people that are doing this kind of work. So that's just, I feel for me it has been very good to get a lot of good messages out to the people around the world, like not being censored and all that. Like, so it's great. So just set yourself free, and as long, and also I have this thought, because I before a couple of years ago, I was a lot into conspiracy theories and talking negatively about all these things that are happening in the world, and I'm like, no, that's not what I want to create. Fear, doubt, worries. I want to create peace, love, and harmony. So I feel like as long as I'm speaking from my heart and it comes from love, we are just set,
Yes.
good to go. That's the
I
key.
s- yes, I love how simple that is.
Yes,
'Cause I was the same way. I was like really into this conspiracy stuff, but if I felt into what I was talking about, I was talking about a deep fear
yes,
and a deep insecurity about my own future. That's what I was really spreading out. And
yes,
so I love the simplicity of feel into your heart. Are you coming from love? Are you coming from fear? When I come from love, oh, that's expansive. And it feels so different than talking about this other stuff.
yes, definitely. Because what we focus on grows. It's like a garden. We can have the fear based and the love based, and where do you want to be?
Right. And I'm
Yeah.
growing a garden of flowers. So
Yes.
thanks for the talk today because this is really watering it, the garden.
Yeah. Truly a pleasure, and I just love having these high vibe talks. And I'm sure a lot of other people watching this right now, would benefit a lot as well. So it's great, and you're like, wow, you're a hit, and you're, I don't know what you call it in hit because I'm from Denmark, so I'm not that 100% accustomed, but you're like shining like an angel.
Well, thank you. Thank you.
and and this might not be a proper question, but how old were you?
I'm 45.
45. It's like, I find it hard to believe that you don't look like that, but like, you're so young and fresh and shiny. Like, wow, that's
I feel
beautiful.
like, this whole last, I'd say 2 years since I started really diving really deep into alternative medicine and holistic healing,
Yeah,
I really do look like a different person. If I go look at my old pictures, it's a totally different life. It's a different me.
definitely,
Yeah.
definitely. And before we even started this interview today, you mentioned something about, instead of growing older, you're becoming younger. Can you share a little bit piece of that?
Oh
Of
my
that?
gosh. Um, yeah, well, I see it physically sometimes, but I have no idea. It's really a mystery. It seems to be coming from the inside as I'm more true to my expression. I'll do things that are more, okay, here it is. I'm living fearlessly. And when I
Yes.
live fearlessly, I seem to take on an aura of youth. Um, and when I express my emotions, whatever they may be, honestly,
Yes.
I seem to age backwards.
Yeah.
And this is a mystery to me on how this is happening. But I don't know. I'm just going with it and knowing that when we feel good,
Yes.
it shows.
Yes. The energy inside is like a reflection on the outside. So people can perceive like what we're going through. And when I went for the Breatharian workshop, there was a healer. So she helped me to release energy blockages. And when I released these energy blockages that was holding me back from doing, like, for instance, interviews, when I released all these things, I could feel it, the pain in my body, and then I was working the energy out. And after that, I was like, oh shit, I'm looking myself in the phone, like shining like insane, and the energy's high when we're letting go and shedding all the old energies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's I could say life is beautiful for
Yes.
me today, and it definitely feels good. It's been such a massive, massive tectonic shift
Yes.
inside of me,
Yes.
from dancing, from all of the things that we talked about. Um, but thank you. Thanks for.
You're welcome, and thank you for coming on. It's I'm very happy to have you on. So before we're gonna end this interview, do you have a website? Do you have a YouTube channel, or do you recommend a Facebook page, or do you have a
I
platform
do.
where people can find you?
So, Her Bare Naked Soul is my website. It's also the name of my Instagram page where you can get updates on. The website should launch on Valentine's Day. And it's going to be a website where you can find erotic art, dancing, education, um, articles on everything from what we are talking about and all aspects
Okay.
of human sexuality. It's a celebration of human sexuality and wholeness.
Wow.
Um, I'm very excited about it. I've never seen anything like it done in this way.
Yeah, exactly.
So that will be coming out in February, and the updates can be found on my Instagram page with the same name, at Her Bare Naked Soul.
At her
Her Bare Naked Soul.
At her bare naked soul. Okay,
Yes.
sure. Just want to clarify that. So, but it will also come under, with the information, and we will put up some links and stuff like that. So, all right, that's awesome. So that's was today's Alkalize to Realize talk show, and you can even find more talk shows by going to our Facebook page, Alkalize to Realize. And also we have another Facebook group. It's called the Activation Stone Age of Unaged Urine and Plasma. So that's also a very powerful website to go find some information. We mentioned a little bit about urine therapy, and a lot of people are sharing lots of good stuff on that page as well. So I think I want to say thank you so much for being on with us today and shining the light and doing the light work. I think it's awesome what you're doing. And
Thank you.
and I'll catch up with you. Enjoy your day.
Excellent.